Today is 21st of January. This will become my actual, the official first vlog, I guess. So I just did an intro video yesterday, and it was just an intro for what my channel is about, who I am, and what do I do when I don't deliver food and things like that. So if you're interested in something like that, definitely check that out. But today, it's just really an overview and my sort of summary of my day yesterday. So yesterday I went out at around about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. About 4:30, 5 o'clock. Oh no, actually it was about 5 o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because I had a lot of work to do in the morning and early afternoon, so I couldn't do a full day yesterday. I went out around like 5 o'clock, and I went home around like 9 o'clock, so I was out for about 4 hours. Overall, I made about $90 in about 4 hours, so it's not too bad, but it's one of those days that I felt like I could have done a lot more. I think so. Yesterday I was on two platforms. So I don't know if you do. I don't know if you do this, but for me, the way I do it is I leave both Uber and Lyft. Why Uber and Lyft? I'm so used to saying that because I used to drive both Uber and Lyft a long time ago. But yeah. So any kind of words that related to Uber is like Lyft. But yeah, yesterday, so I was doing Uber Eats and Doordash. So the way I do it is I turn both on, and if one comes in, the one I like, then I accept that and turn the other one off. In the case of Uber Eats, I turn it off. I just go offline because there's no other way to do it. But with DoorDash, because of the scheduling issue, and just in case it's not busy because I didn't schedule, if I go offline, that means I cannot come back online. So I don't want to end dash. I just want to pause for a little bit while I complete the Uber Eats delivery. So I pause for a bit, and then usually it runs down from 35 minutes, and 35 minutes is, with any kind of deliveries, that's a plenty of time to get something done. So I leave that on, and then by the time I'm almost at the delivery destination for the Uber Eats, I turn the DoorDash back on, so that I'm accepting calls, requests at that time. Because I don't know if you noticed, but with Uber Eats, what they do is they sort of like bombard you with all the requests, sort of like towards the end of your delivery. That way, I think it's kind of, well, first you're almost at the end of it, so you can move on to the next one, and then also I think, actually I don't know if they had thought about that, but yeah, it's just for me, I don't like to accept those requests towards the end of a delivery, just because it doesn't actually show where the pickup is and where the drop-off is. Pickup, you sort of know if you know the area, if you know the restaurants, it tells you by the name, and for the drop-off, it tells you all the sort of like the crossroads and stuff. But I mean, I'm not going to know all the crossroads. I mean, if they're major crossroads, then yeah, probably I would know, but I wouldn't know some of the smaller crossroads. But so makes it much tougher for me to kind of vision sort of like how long it's going to take, if that makes sense for that sort of that journey. So I usually just decline them unless they're like per mile money base is like really good. Like, for example, like if it's like 3 miles, but if it's like 14-15 bucks, then yes, I'll just do it. I mean, 3 miles, it couldn't take that long, especially here in Las Vegas. probably 3 miles, because that's usually, if it's at 3 miles, it's usually from, well, not usually, it is from the point from where you are to the restaurant, and from restaurant to the customer combined. So it's not, the 3 miles is not just for the, from the restaurant to the customer, it's for both. So 3 miles combined, it, even if it's really trafficy, in Vegas, it still moves fairly well. So it's probably going to take me less than 15 minutes, if the restaurant has no delay. So 15 $15 in 15 minutes, yes, I'll do that. So yesterday, the reason I thought I could do a lot better is probably because there was one order, and it's actually quite funny. It was quite slow. So at around like 6 o'clock, it shouldn't be slow, but I think I could have waited a little bit longer. But it was only like 1.2 miles on Uber Eats, and it was going to be about $5. I think it was 5.50 maybe. And then while I was waiting for the Uber Eats, Doordash order came in. Yes, I actually forgot to pause Doordash. I thought I did, but I didn't. So it came in, and it was from McDonald, and it was going to literally the same apartment as the Uber Eats order. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. It's gonna be ready almost simultaneously with the Uber Eats, so I can do two orders going into the same apartment, and then just stopping at the two different apartments. So it's it's not too bad, and it's only 1.2 miles for $10.50 combined. So I thought that would be pretty good. I thought $5 is pretty good for that sort of distance as well. Just kind of, because if it's that short, even because you know how like how Uber Eats sends you write the delivery request towards the end of it, because it's so short, that delivery request comes in almost entire journey kind of thing. So you can kind of pick and choose which one to do and which one not to do, especially if it's in an area that you know fairly well. Like if you know where the restaurant is, and you know how, what sort of distance that restaurant is from where your car is at that moment, then you sort of know how far, or where the food needs to be delivered to. So that's how I usually calculate it. And that way you sort of know, like, even though you don't know which direction you're going in, you can still sense if it's not too far away, if it's like 2-3 miles away, and I know within about 2-3 miles there are still plenty of restaurants that once I finish the delivery I can keep going, then I would accept that. So that was going to be my strategy for taking that McDonald's order. But the reason that I was so frustrated and I thought that I was wasting my time is they told me that they're gonna bring it out. I don't know if this is a case with in your area, but all the McDonald's in Las Vegas, they're not open. The restaurant is not open. Like, you can't even go into the store. Like other, like Taco Bell, Jack in the Box, or KFC, you can actually go in and actually pick up the order yourself. But with McDonald's, they're not letting us in. So some of the McDonald's, like, they have their phone number on outside, so we have to call, or we have to go through drive-through. But at 6 o'clock in the evening, all the drive-through is going to be so backed up. So there was really no point of me going through drive-through. So I thought I'll just call, and I did. And then they told me they're going to bring it out right away, but they didn't. So I called again about 5 minutes later, and they said they're going to bring it out again. At this point, I was waiting for both delivery, both food, and then I waited another 5 minutes, and then I called again, and then they said they'll bring it out, but they brought it out about 5 minutes later. So it took me, I waited for the food for about 15, 20, almost 15, 17 minutes, which is, which is, um, it's really frustrating because 15 minutes um, is a time that I think I could be at least be making $5, $10 quite easily. At that time, at around like 6 o'clock, is a prime time. So, you know, but yeah, to be wasting time like that, and then so overall, I think the entire trip, so from where I was to McDonald's to the apartment complex, and finding two apartments at night when the sun has already set. Finding those building number and the unit number is a nightmare when the sun's already set. So I think that overall took me about 35 minutes and made about $10. Uh, so yeah, that was frustrating. But um, and then the orders kept coming in, and then I tried to pick it up, but um, yeah, it was just it wasn't I wasn't hitting all the right ones, so it took me a little bit more time. But overall, it was okay. Wednesday night. Good thing about the weekdays, it may be a little bit slower than the weekends, but good thing is you can kind of still move around. Actually, I think there might be different cases in your area, wherever you might be, because oftentimes Las Vegas is a little bit different. Weekends are always a little bit busier just because all the tourists comes in. Yeah, even with the pandemics, there's still people coming in. It's not, it's never busy as pre-pandemic, but it's still busy. So during the weekends, I think a lot of the drivers get sort of sucked into Las Vegas Strip, so which leaves a lot of the sort of outskirt a little bit more empty, and have more opportunity for bigger deliveries. But yeah, during the weekdays, it's not as busy. Meaning, even the roads, we can get to places much quicker. So weekdays, it makes up for it. Like if we can catch, there are enough requests so that we can kind of pick and choose still. The money may not be they may not be like 16, $18, 10-minute rides, 10-minute request, 10-minute delivery kind of thing, but we still have you know like $8, $12, somewhere in between, for about 15-minute, 20-minute deliveries. So that's not too bad. But yeah, just how was your day? In Just like to hear where you guys are working. You know, like for example, I know California fairly well. I went to school in San Francisco, and worked in San Francisco. So if you're in California, like you can be a little bit more specific. Like if you're in LA, like did you work in downtown LA? Did you work like sort of towards like Santa Monica, Hollywood? Because I think all those areas can be very different from one another, and I think people can definitely relate more when they see where you are, and how it was and things like that. So yeah, let's chat a little bit more, I guess. But yeah, um, I'm going online right now. It is 3 o'clock here, and 3 o'clock. I'm hoping to work until around probably 10ish, 11. There's nothing that much happening in the evening, like towards like after 9 o'clock. So I gotta be. It gets really slow down. So I'll probably be out for really about for until about 9 o'clock, but I'll go on for a little bit more just to pick up a few things, because probably other drivers will go home too, so there'll be more opportunities as well. But yeah, this is clocking in around like 15 minutes, so I hope this wasn't too boring. I hope this was interesting. Maybe there was something that was a little bit more insightful. If you have any questions regarding anything that I said, um, definitely ask me. Leave a comment below, and um, I'm gonna try to. I mean, I'm gonna try to answer all the questions if there is any, and of course, I'm gonna ask a lot of questions too. So yeah, feel free to drop any comments, and then we'll chat. All right, thank you, and then be safe. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye.